Good afternoon and welcome to show 19 of my weekly 10 show. And right, before I shoot into today's topic, what I'm going to talk about, what I want to do is just give you a brief update about certain things. Sorry, that's my phone. It's a brief update about things that are going on in the next month or so. Lots of exciting things going on for me and hopefully you as well. I'm launching two new programs. One called Turning Point Challenge, which is, I've already run one program already. I'm going to be running that again, and that's for people who feel like they're stuck and lost and can't get themselves out of the situation they're in. And it's a 4-week program. I'm going to be releasing more information on that in the coming weeks and via my email, my regular newsletter. Also, I'm doing something called the Mind Gym, which is, this is more for well, it's the same as a gym basically, so you know, it's for everybody. So if you feel that you want to increase or improve your mindset and be more productive in your life generally, then the Mind Gym's for you, because you'll be learning all different types of techniques, skills, ways of thinking, ways of turning things to your advantage, etc. And it'll be for a relatively small cost as well. So that's definitely something I think a lot of people are going to be interested in, and you can get more information about that when you sign up on my email, which I'll leave in the box after here. I'm also available for one-to-one coaching, so if that's also something that's interesting to you, please get in touch. And I'm also setting up a new YouTube account where I'm going to be doing longer interviews and discussions with people around all different subjects on a regular basis. So they're going to be longer than this. They're going to be between half an hour and an hour long. But again, keep an eye out for that in my email newsletter. Okay, so right, today I'm talking about being confidently resilient. Okay, now essentially that means is resiliency is your ability to recover from any type of setback in life. When you are resilient, you know that you can handle pretty much any situation you're faced with. You can deal with it, you can cope with it, and you can use it to your advantage. So you can bounce back pretty much straight away. And a lot of the time we get stuck in our minds and we focus only on the things that are going wrong in life. We never focus on the things that are possibilities or opportunities and things that really could help us in any situation. So because we stay in that energy, which is a catabolic energy. Now, that's quantum physics for anyone thinking about what the hell is energy. It's quantum physics. We have hormones in our brains that when we're under stress release more of those hormones, which creates a tearing, draining down sort of energy, which impacts our perspectives, our thoughts, and everything that we do. Alternatively, you have something called anabolic energy, which is also a chemical that's released when which heightens your system basically. So you feel great when you're when the more anabolic energy you've got, the better you feel. So learning how to access these two energies is key to any sort of success in life. If you know how to do this, you can play. You can literally choose what you want to be, how you want to show up at any given time. Now, I'll give you an example of all of this, because in terms of resiliency, there's literally 7 different levels of energy that you can look at any situation from. And it's not necessarily a bad situation, any situation. So you can focus on whatever the situation from 7 different perspectives, if you know how. And it's also about where your energy is when you're doing it. So I'll give you an example of how this works. And focusing on my particular situation, when I went through all the stuff which I've talked about many times, I don't want to keep going over about it, but I went through a lot of crap in my life, and I could have easily focused, and I did for a period of time. You know, I'm a human at the end of the day. We all have these slumps, and we all fall into that victim mentality sometimes, because that's what happens when we have any sort of stress. We go into what's called an energetic stress reaction, and it's down to the individual how long you stay in that area, because you can either fester there for as long as you want, really, feeling sorry for yourself, doubting, worrying, seeing all the things that don't help you, basically. Or you can pull yourself out of it and start moving back up into a more positive, constructive sort of energy. So if I was to look at my situation through these 7 different lenses of energy, then this is pretty much what my perspectives would look like. So if you're looking at it from the level 1 perspective, you would be a victim. You're going to be focusing everything that's gone wrong, feel guilty about things, worry, self-pity, blame. You allow other people to feel sorry for you, and you take the sympathy, and you sit there just accepting people's sympathy. Now, some people might, enjoy that, or allow themselves to be in that energy on purpose because of that reason. It's, again, all down to the individual. But for me, my mum brought me up to never be a victim, and I'm not a victim. So I spent about a year in that mindset, feeling sorry for me, taking drugs, acting like a right loser, really. And my life was going nowhere. This is why I was still in prison. And I had a turning point, which is why I've got my turning point challenge, because that's where it comes from. We all have turning points in life where something clicks and you think, enough's enough, I've got to change this. And that was my turning point to start moving forward in life again. So I pulled myself out of that energy, and now when you move up to the second level, which is a more conflict-driven energy, that's where you start getting angry. You pull yourself out of that victim mindset and you start thinking to yourself, I've had enough of this situation. Enough's enough. I need to sort it out and move forward with my life. So you start beating yourself up. You start getting yourself moving. And it can be used as a positive, this energy, even though it's a catabolic energy, to get you motivated, force you to move forward, do what you've got to do to get out of that energy level. Okay, so the next level is more of a mixture between catabolic energy and anabolic energy. Now here, you start to rationalise with things. You start to take responsibility for things. And you reframe any losses or setbacks or whatever they may be in a way that suits you. So changing your perspective of it. And for instance, telling yourself there's always they're always with you. So when I lost my parents, they're always with me. And you have to carry on for them, basically. You have to be the best version of you for them. So that's how you rationalise something like that. And that's what I did. So, and it's a step in that. You start off being a victim, you move up to being angry, then you start to rationalise and start to put things into perspective. So, the next level, which is now moving into a moderately sort of anabolic level, is where you start focusing on others. You start caring, you feeling love, you feel compassion, and all those great things. So, for me, the circle is quite widespread of people who are like affected by what happened, not just to me, but my whole situation. My girlfriend was absolutely ruined after because she knew I hadn't done what I did, and she blamed herself in a lot of ways and things like that. So the effects of these things are huge. So focusing rather than on yourself and what you've lost and what you're going through, shifting your focus to something about others and how others are affected, helps you move forward as well, because you're not looking inwards, you're looking outwards. So, and you start, and at that level, you're also looking after yourself a lot better. You start caring for yourself, looking after yourself, eating well, exercising, all of these things. So it's a much more positive, moving forward, beneficial level. Now, level 5 is my favourite level to pop into every now and then, because with this level, you look at every experience in terms of how you can grow from it, what knowledge you can gain, what's the learning, what's the possibilities here. So it's a really constructive level. And for me, I knew after experiencing all of that stuff I went through, that nothing in this world could ever break me again. Nothing could, because when you've been through something like that, you really develop that strength and resiliency to move forward throughout whatever life throws at you with confidence, with knowing that you can achieve and do anything you want if you look at it in the right way. So literally you turn any sort of setback, any sort of perceived setback I should say, because they're not really setbacks, to your advantage, and you can use that to really move you forward in whatever it is you want to do in life, really, and start creating the life that you really want to live. So level 6, now we're moving into the real highly energetic realms here, where you're simply experiencing the situation without any sort of judgment at all. Now think about it. People say, oh, I'm not judgmental. Yes, you are. Everybody is. We all judge everything constantly, all the time, every minute of every day. So removing that judgment from your mindset suddenly gives you a clear picture of everything. Because everything you've learned over the years is judgment. It's all judgment from what you believe and how you think the world should look, and all of these things, they're all judgment. So removing that judgment gives you a complete, clear, objective and view of any situation where you can then just reflect on it discerningly without the judgment, and that's when you learn the most, because you're looking at a situation with complete clarity. And that's another way of seeing the growth, the learning, all of the opportunities within that. So finally, you've got level 7. Now here it really is passion, pure passion. So you're literally creating the next experience that you have. Whatever you want it to be, you create it. So we do create our own life as we see it. You know, circumstances don't dictate how we live. It's what we perceive and how we react to everything. You could have the worst life in the world, but you could be also happy because of how you think. So you're just free at this level. You're just like literally free of everything. So you everything that clouds our thinking normally is gone, and you're there literally in a state of passion. You just are. You just are. You're just existing, observing everything without the judgment and with complete objectivity. So that's an example of how all of these different energy levels affect us in any situation. And when you understand how to use these and make them work for you, then life, it changes. It just completely changes. So there's no need to be living in your head. There's no need to be a victim. There's no need to think to yourself that you're never going to be successful and life's crap and oh, the world's terrible and everything else, because it's not true. That's all in there. Switching your perspective to something much more productive is what you really need to do if you really want to start living life. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Have a great weekend, and I will catch up with you all next week. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.